Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making this 3D transform animation right here in Figma. Yes, we won't be using any plugins, any tools, nothing. And see how smooth the transitions are, and it's actual 3D transform in Figma. Now Figma doesn't have any features that help you do this. In fact, I took almost 2 weeks to make this because there were so many things that I needed to figure out. But today we're just gonna take 10 minutes and we're gonna make this amazing transition in Figma. So the first thing we need to do is go to Figma and open up a file. Inside this, we will create an artboard. Just hold Shift and create an artboard, as simple as that. Now inside this frame or artboard, we will create another rectangle. This rectangle is square in this case, so we'll leave it at square. You can make it a rectangle as well, depends on you. Now the next thing is that we need to give this frame a slightly grayed out background. So from the right, I'm gonna change the color of the frame to a slightly grayish tone. Something like F0, F0 is good. Now this little rectangle, I want to give a white because I think white will look best on this gray background. Now the next thing is actually placing things inside this rectangle. So what I'm going to do is bring in an image which I absolutely love, which is a sunflower image. And I got this from Unsplash. You can always get this from Unsplash as well. Or you can put any image you like. I'm just going to align it such a way. I'm just going to increase the size in such a way that it covers the entire rectangle. And I'm going to create another rectangle so that I can put some text and some captions for this image. So once I have something placed just like this, I would then go ahead and place some text over this. I already have created that text. You can create your text on your own. All right, so now I have a simple text here. It says sunflower, it's a plant, and it's a description. That's nice. So now the next step is something, if you miss the effect, the 3D effect will not work. So in this case, we will create rectangles on all 4 corners of this square. So just basic rectangles that cover the entirety of the width or the height. And I'm gonna do the same for all 4 of these sides or all 4 of these edges. Awesome, now I have this grid around it, so as to say. On the right rectangle, I'm gonna select it and I'm gonna click on Enter on my keyboard. And on the top left, I have this little circle or anchor point, and I'm going to hold Shift and then push it to the left. So I'm going to hold Shift, and with my left arrow key, I'm just going to push it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. With the left one as well, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to push the top right circle or anchor point to the right, hold Shift, right arrow key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now, everything else is fine. We won't be making any other further changes. Maybe I might increase the height of the top and the bottom ones just to have more space for it. Now, you might be thinking, Punit, this is looking weird right now. Yes, it is, but we're going to change it. So the next thing is we're going to select the rectangle, the white rectangle that we made in the first step. We're going to select it and say Command D or Control D to duplicate it inside Figma. As you can see on the left, we have 2 rectangles at the bottom here. So I'm going to select the bottommost rectangle, and everything on top, I'll hold Shift just to select everything, and right click and say Use as Mask. It's as simple as that. I'm going to click on it, and as you can see, now it only covers the rectangle or the square we had created. Now right inside this, what I'm going to do is make sure that these extra rectangles that we had made later on is the same color as the background we have. So if your background is white, make it white. If your background is blue, red, whatever color it is, make it that way. And then what I'm going to do is hold Shift and just drag out all of these so that you can't really see them anymore. And why you can't see them is because we've masked it and it's just going off bounds from the mask. Now I'm also going to move all the top and the bottom ones. So once you've done everything, you'll have something that looks exactly like this, and it seems like a normal card right here. Another thing that you shouldn't miss out is to group everything together, and I'm just going to hold Shift or just drag out and say Command G, Control G on your keyboard, and that makes it a simple rectangle here. You don't even see any elements. Now the next thing is I'm going to click on the frame here, frame 21. I'm going to say Command D or Control D to duplicate this frame along with all its contents. The next step is crucial for all the lovely animations and transitions to take place. So let's look at it. The next step we need to do with the second artboard is to first of all make sure that the left rectangle or the right rectangle that we had placed here comes inside this space. So it looks something like this we have on screen. Make sure you measure how many steps you're moving. Hold shift and press the left arrow key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good enough for now. The left rectangle also that we had created. Hold shift, right key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now we have two rectangles which look identical and they're on each side. However, of course, you can't see it because not only is it the same color, it's also masked inside it. Same thing with the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing with the top. Now we have like this sort of an isometric looking rectangle here, which looks good already. Now the next step we need to do is click on this image right here. Make sure that this image is not fill. Go into the properties and change the fill. There's a fill written here to crop. That's what we need to do. And now if we adjust the size, as you can see how it doesn't change with the aspect ratio. The aspect ratio is changing along with the image. The aspect ratio is what will make or break our 3D effect. Now with this text-based rectangle here, what I need to do to get that isometric look is to say right click on the group or select everything inside the group. And I want to say outline stroke. Once you've selected outline stroke, if you click or select anything inside it, everything has been changed into a vector, which is absolutely necessary. In fact, you will have to make the same change in the first artboard as well. Just click on the group here and say outline stroke. That's all you need to do. Now, this outline stroke element needs to be made smaller. So press K on the keyboard, hold shift and drag from the bottom towards the top. So it becomes smaller and scales with it. Now, select it again and without holding shift or anything else, just drag it out like this. See how it now gets that flat look? And for an even more convincing 3D transform, you need to go inside this group, this rectangle here, and click on this white rectangle, which is rectangle 273 in this case. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to adjust the anchor points 2 spaces to the right, on the right one, on the 2 spaces to the left, on the bottom left ones. Just adjust it so that it kind of aligns with the corners or the edges of this flat rectangle. See how it looks isometric lying down on a flat surface? Perfect. Now the next thing we need to do is actually add the 3D isometric loading that I showed in the first slides. That is not something we'll be doing inside Figma. This is the only thing we'll be going to a browser for it. Alright, so inside our browser, we go to jiffy.com, which is where we'll get our isometric 3D animations from. If you have any other 3D animations, you can use that. It's up to you. So inside Jiffy, we're going to type in 3D loading. That's what I typed earlier. And we're going to search for it. And instead of searching for a GIF, because a GIF will always have a solid background. We don't need a solid background. We need a transparent background. So I'm going to go to stickers. And under stickers, the first thing that we see is the loading animation that I had used initially. I'm going to use this first loading animation, right click, and I'll say save image as. Now let's get back to Figma. Inside the second frame, I'm just going to drag the GIF that I had downloaded and I'm going to put it inside Figma. And as you can see, a little preview has been made here. Again, this feels weird here because only a part of the GIF is available here. However, when we prototype, everything will become okay. So don't worry about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I don't want the loading sign at the bottom or the loading text at the bottom to arrive. I just want the circular animation. So in this case, I'm going to go to the fill property on the right, click on GIF, and under fill, I'm going to say crop once again. However, this time we will actually crop it to almost half the size right here. So I won't be able to see the loading sign or the loading text appear. And again, just scale it up so that it's big enough and it's right about at the center. On average, you have to visually align it. That's it. And I'm going to add a shadow. Thankfully, Figma allows me to add shadows to my actual PNGs or even transparent GIFs in this case. So in this case, I'm going to make sure that the opacity is 80%. I want a nice heavy look to this. And I also want the blur to be 12 or 24, something like that. Once I've made all the adjustments here, it will give that flat and isometric 3D look, which we are going for. Now this is done, we don't have to make any changes to this slide anymore. Now I will duplicate this frame one last time for one last frame. So in this case, I'm going to actually remove the loading GIF that we had placed. And what I'm going to do is also reduce the opacity or just completely remove this sunflower or this text at the bottom because we don't really need it anymore. So I'm going to reduce the opacity to 0. You can choose to remove it completely, just delete it from here. Now, even with the image, I'm going to reduce the opacity to 0 because now we want the white background over which text will appear. Now in this case, I'm going to double click on this mask here and I'm going to bring back these rectangles that we had adjusted in our first few steps. So it's going to make sure that the square appears just like we had earlier, normal square. And this is absolutely looking beautiful, perfect. And also to make sure that it gives that scaling up or that rising up effect, I will also increase the size or just scale up this rectangle just a little bit. Not too much, just a little. Alright, so I already have some text. I'm going to paste it inside the mask. Remember that. You need to place it inside the mask. So what I'm going to do is just hold K and adjust it to make sure that the sizing is perfect. And that's about it. I'll center it out. And as you can see, we have a nice arrow which takes you back and some text that I copied off Wikipedia. Now that's it. That's all we needed to do. Now one last step so that we can go back to the first initial transition. I'm going to duplicate the middle artboard, the one where 3D transform is taking place. And here I'm just going to make it, and here I don't need to make any changes. Now let's go to the prototyping section or the animation section. Now I'm going to click on frame 21 and on the top right we have prototype. I'm going to click on prototype and on the right here you'll be able to see this white circle. I hover over it and drag it to the second artboard right here. On click, perfect. All the other settings are perfect. Smart animate, make sure that is selected, otherwise it won't work. Ease in out or ease out, it's up to you. And in this case, I want it to be 500 to 600 milliseconds. 500, the lower you go, the faster the animation is. The second artboard, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to drag out to the third artboard here. And in this case, rather than saying on click, I'm going to say after delay. That's what we need. 500 milliseconds, I'm going to give it a little more time, maybe 800 or 1000 milliseconds, which is equal to 1 second. Now in the last artboard, I'm going to bring it back to the middle one, the duplicated middle one. And I'm going to do on click, that's fine. 1000, I'm going to bring it back to 600. And we'll do the same thing with this. I'm going to make it delay for 600 to 800 milliseconds. Maybe less because we're going back. So we want maybe like 200 milliseconds. And that's about it. That's all we needed to do. Now, if I go to frame 1, as you can see, there's a little flow that has been created. I can rename this. I'm going to say 3D. You can change the name to whatever you like. And I'm going to click on this arrow here or this play button here. And that will take us to our final result in Figma. See how it animates, and it now smoothly transitions back into this space where I can actually see the text. And if I click on this back arrow, which we need to do now, it goes back to its initial state and bam, it pops up into the first state that we had. Looks amazing. You can make some changes, edits. So that was 3D transform in Figma. I've done a 3D transform in Adobe XD for my Adobe XD users out there, so you can always go check that out. I post such videos every Monday and Thursday. So if you want to see content like this, design news, design tutorials, cool new tools that pop up, and a lot more, I do that every single week. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I will see you every Monday and Thursday. Until next time, God bless.